Welcome to the Lending Table podcast, where we talk about lending, real estate, faith, marriage, and real life here in the heart of Texas. I'm your host, Rosie Maya.
And I'm Sammy Maya.
Welcome back, guys. Today, we're going to talk about marriage, money, and big money moves.
Ooh. Somebody had to do it.
I know.
Looks like we're going to do it.
So, for our future home buyers out there, when you're finally in the buying stage to buy a house, right? And you have a significant other, partner, or you guys are married, it is really important that you guys have not only communication, right? I think that's pretty fundamental for every relationship.
That's right.
But when it comes to buying a house, you also need to have financial communication.
Yes.
And it's so important that you guys are on the same page when it comes to the financial side of the home purchase.
Yeah. And like a monthly payment budget that you guys might want to have.
Yes.
You guys should kind of have an understanding of kind of lifestyle that you guys want to live. Do you guys want to be house poor? Do you guys like to go out and spend money? Are you savers? What are your goals? So, yeah, definitely communication and setting that plan up is vital, not only for the goal in real estate, the purchasing of the property, but for your relationship.
Yes. I mean, this is something that should be talked about up front between the two of you. I know you have type A people that type in everything that they know, such as expenses, how much money they have. And I know a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people are like type B, where they're like, hey, whatever floats your boat. And like, what if I got the money, I got the money. If I don't, I don't, right? But if you want to be in a better situation financially to purchase a home, it's really important to sit down with your significant other, or if you're single, sit down by yourself and see exactly what bills you currently have, how much money you currently have, and see how much money you want to spend. Just like as Sammy said, do you want to be house poor? I mean, if you do, okay. But if you know that you like to go on vacation every year, or you have a bucket list of things that you want to do, or if you love fashion and you like to go shopping and get the latest trends, or if you love, gadgets and you're big on tech and you want to purchase the next big thing, like everybody has their thing that they love. People like to go out to eat 3 times a week, week, or
Guilty.
fast food. Fast food's also a big thing that people spend money on. It amounts to a lot of money at the end. So it's something that you definitely want to consider. I mean, people have subscriptions, right? Subscriptions to Netflix, to Amazon Prime, to a lot of different things, and all these things add up.
They sure do.
And so you definitely want to sit down.
And my brain, where my brain automatically goes?
What?
When I think about this topic, my brain goes to things like, scripturally, biblically, like, a man will leave his house and join to his wife, and the two will become one.
Yes.
Two is better than one, because if one falls down, the other's there to help him up. A threefold cord is not easily broken.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're working together of the same mind, with the same goal in mind,
Yes.
communicating, vitally intertwined as one, you just set yourself up for that much more
Yes.
success. You set yourself up to break down any barriers that may be coming your way when you guys are united, one, togetherness,
Mm-hmm.
unison. So
Yeah.
yes, get with your partner, talk about it, but and that goes real deep. We're talking about budgeting, but even further than that, for your relationship, you guys want to be of one mind.
Yes.
And how do you do that unless by communicating and growing together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And so I would definitely encourage you guys to sit down, make some time. Like if you feel that both of you aren't going to just come to an agreement and spend some time right now, because there's life just goes on and there's so many things that you have throughout the day, and sometimes you don't want to put it on your calendar. Like set a time, speak with your partner and be like, hey, next Saturday, does it work? We need an hour together or 30 minutes together. Do I have your word that you're going to be able to, come through and strategize together? Somebody needs to put it on the calendar, and you need to be held accountable to do this together, especially because it's such a big financial decision that you're going to make together. And so this could lead you into being house poor, right? Where you're kind of overextending. The good thing is that when it comes to the lending, I mean, you can only qualify for what you can qualify for, right?
That's true.
But there are other things that you want to consider when it comes to living, all right? Going out to eat, like doing all these other things. I know for the women, we love our TJ Maxx and we love our Marshalls, right? Are we thinking about that, or you're thinking about opening up credit cards and getting yourself in debt. It's just you kind of want to come into an agreement with each other and see how much money do you really truly have for the house, how much you want to pay for the mortgage. If you have kids, right? What are the medical expenses that could happen?
Babysitting costs,
Yes.
you name it. Those are going to be all kinds of surprise expenses. Get on the
Yes.
same mind budget-wise.
Do you guys want to have some savings, after purchasing the house? Are you guys going to want to do family trips together, anniversary trips together, birthday parties? Like these are all some things that you want to consider when it comes to strategizing together, right?
So put down the phone, get off TikTok for a little bit,
Yes.
stop scrolling, and talk to your significant other about your financial goals, your saving goals, your
Yes.
house goals, your future goals. Communicate, become of one mind. You want to become united.
Yes, it is so important. And it saves a lot of headache in the long run, right? And I know this is not something that us women want to hear, but you also need a compromise. This is the time where you strategize and you compromise how many times you go to Starbucks, how many times you go out for your little matcha.
The men as
right?
well, too. You need to compromise in some areas.
Yes. The men too.
Work together.
Yeah, I feel like if there's somebody in the relationship, it's probably the women that are the big spenders. And I say that because I could spend a lot of money. Like if there's one talent that I have, it is spending money.
Lord help us.
Okay, I'll just be really honest about that, right? I love my little matcha runs. I love to go, like, I don't know if you know this, right? But like where our office is at, I could literally walk to TJ Maxx.
We're like a stone's throw away from TJ Maxx.
I could literally walk to Hobby Lobby. And I know for people, like Hobby Lobby is like, ugh, I don't really go, right? But I'm such a creative girly. Like Hobby Lobby is my jam, okay? I could find something to do. It's kind of like a Target where I can just go in there and Sammy will be like, what are you going in there for? And I'm like, dude, I am going for the vibes.
Not a dang thing.
And it happens like that with a lot of things. Like even TJ Maxx, sometimes he'll tell me before I go to keep me accountable. He'll be like, what are you going in for? And I'm like,
You hate it when I ask those
sir,
questions.
I'm like, sir, mind your business, okay?
I'm like, no, we're here for that one thing. Once you find it, yeah, I'm in line. Let's get it. Let's go.
Hey, it could be a good thing too, because sometimes those lines are ridiculous and like you're already in line, right? But like trying to bring this all back together, right? That it's important that you guys strategize and see exactly how much money you want to spend on the mortgage. And if you like to go shopping, that's okay too. That is okay. That's okay too, Queen. Okay. You just need to budget that. All right. To be in the best position. When we were first buying our home in Laredo, right? We were thinking about, well, the initial intention was to purchase a house. It was always to purchase a house. But we were like, should we rent? Or what should we do, right? Because we came out here having no family, nobody really to rely on.
No friends.
No friends, no family. So it wasn't like, oh, we can stay with our cousin for like a month or two. We were living inside of the extended stay
I remember that.
for 3 months with our pit bull. May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And that extended stay was all but 300 to 400 square feet. I mean, I bumped my head so many times cooking in that space. I wanted to be out. I mean, we game planned what we needed to do to save up the funds for the down payment of a house, because we ended up
We were just
checking
kids.
out. Yeah, we were kids, How old were we?
23, maybe.
Early 20s. Oh, we miss those days. Just kidding. No, I love my 30s. But we were living in such a tight space, and we wanted to purchase, because when we ended up doing the math on the renting, the rental here, I guess when we moved here, I'm seeing people find deals every now and then, right? But like for us, I don't know if it was because we were outsiders and people were just trying to take advantage, but it was expensive. And they were asking for like 2 months security deposit, and it was damn near the down payment on a home.
That's true.
And so for us, it was like, why? Like, I'd rather struggle for a little bit and put money on something that is going to be ours and tangible
That's right.
than somebody else's pocket, right?
And we did that by coming together, discussing a budget, discussing our saving goals, what we got to do together to make this
Yes.
happen. That's what we're trying to explain here is
Yes.
this purchase here. When we were to buy our home in Laredo, like, there were some obstacles, but we came together as one, united, and we communicated these things out. We said, this is what we want to do. This is our goal. How are we going to reach it? We started to budget.
Yes, it was sad for a period of time. And it could be like that for people.
It could be like that for you.
It could be like that for you where you're like, you know what? I'm about to tap out, time out, time out, time out. I'm over it. Compromising isn't fun.
You're not going to be going out to
You
eat,
know,
maybe. You're not going to be able to have those luxury leisure
Yes.
shopping sprees that you might want to when trying to save up for this goal.
There was a lot of ramen, a lot of sandwiches. So like it's not always fun, but it's only for a period of time. Like that's something that you guys need to understand as well collectively is that it's only for a short period of time where you're really going to have to make that sacrifice to save up the funds to be able to purchase your home or be in a better position to purchase a home. And it might not be like that for everyone. Some people get paid way more than others, but if you're not in that situation, it's only going to be for such a short amount of time.
Yeah, I'm reminded of that song. There may be pain in the night, but
But
joy comes in the morning.
Yeah. I
So
love
there
that
might
song.
be some pain, but ultimately it'll lead to the goal, your savings goal, whatever you're saving for, whether it's real estate, whether it's just trying to dig yourself out of a hole. There may be some pain, but joy will come at the end of that.
Yes, for sure. So budgeting is going to be always the top thing that you want to consider when it comes to buying a house. I mean, that's important, right?
Many things in life, but this is a real estate podcast where we talk about real estate deep in the heart of Texas. So specifically, tailored to real estate. So yeah, you're definitely going to want to be talking about budgeting when it comes to buying that first home.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And on top of that, I mean, budgeting is very, very important, right? But you also want to get collectively together to talk about what you guys want and your dream home, right? What you guys are looking for, what is your requirement?
It could even be a starter home.
Yeah,
It might not be a dream home. Look, the finances might not be there right now for the dream home, but it's a starter home. You might want to discuss what you want in your starter home for now. 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you get in a better situation for your dream home. We turn that starter home into a rental. Now you're investors, and then you make your way up to the dream home.
Yes.
But yeah, you definitely want to be getting with your partner on what you're looking at for a home, whether your dream home, whether your starter home, things that you guys are going to need, compromises that you're going to have to make. What is the true bread and butter that you're going to need of this home? That way you guys can be looking for those things.
Yeah. And for us, I mean, it took 3 months. It took us 3 months to get out of that hotel,
Well, let me say it took her 2.5 months to try and find the house, and then your boy swooped in a couple weeks and found it.
Yes. Big Papa found the perfect home. Okay. But, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't just happen within a month. Sometimes it doesn't happen within 2 weeks. I mean, for us, it took 3 months and I nearly died. Okay.
Not only could there be pain in the night, there could be pain for a couple weeks.
Yes. So, I mean, it might not be like that for everybody, but if you're really wanting to buy a house, you can definitely achieve it. It just takes some tenacity, some discipline, and you can definitely get there.
And some willpower.
Yeah.
Some unity.
Yeah, for sure.
Stick together.
You're on fire today. I love it.
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
No. And on average right now, at least in our area, right? Every area is going to be different depending on the sales prices in that area.
Every real estate market is hyper local. So,
Yes.
You could be in an hour away in a different city and it could look a little bit different. You could be a few hours away. You could be, a day's trip away and it's going to look different no matter where you're at.
It's going to look a little different. But here in Laredo, on average, if you're making about 50K a month, even 45,000, I mean, I'm sorry, 45,000 to 50,000 a year, you could be in a position to
fifty
purchase a
thousand a
home.
month, you can
I
buy
know,
anything you want here in
right?
Laredo.
No, but yeah, if you're making about 45,000 a year or 50,000 a year, you could be in a position to purchase a home, maybe even less, depending on the sales prices. But here,
That's a good starting range.
yeah.
So if you make 45, 50,000 out there, like let's just say, and you're wondering like, could I be a homeowner? Like, there's potential for you to be able to afford a mortgage payment here locally in Laredo. You could buy a home.
You definitely can. And let's say you want to know exactly how much money to start saving up for. Maybe for someone it's going to be in the realm of 2 months to save up. Maybe for someone it's going to look like 6 months to save up. But nobody really looks at somebody that owns a house and thinks, man, I wonder how long it took them to save up. No, people are like, dang, you bought a house. Like, that's awesome. Nobody knows about like what it took to purchase the home,
Nobody
right?
knows the fiery trials behind it all.
Yeah. The goal is to purchase the home, to have the home for you and your family, to build wealth through real estate.
Amen.
And like I said, it could be 2 months, it could be 6 months. For some people, it could be a year, depending on what they have to pay. I mean, I know for some people, some young folks out there have to pay for their families. So everybody's in a different position. Some people could be getting paid 60,000 a year, but they're paying all of the family's expenses right now. They're paying for their brother, their sister's car, and like, God bless you for doing that for your family.
Amen.
So it's not always about how fast you can do it. It's about, can you save up the funds? Can you guys talk together?
Are you willing to do it? Are you willing
Yes.
to, put your hands to the plow and work towards that goal? It may take you some time. Like Rosie was saying, your situation could be completely different. You could be just coming out of college. You could be the one that
Yes.
starts making money for the family and starts doing well, and you got a career, and you got all these things to take care of, though. Like, but if you have the goal to do it, it could take you a year. But if you have the goal, work with a team that's going to help you achieve that goal, and put your hand to the plow, start your saving and
Yeah.
budgeting.
And I truly think that even if you're 18, 19 years old, and maybe right now you're not thinking about buying a house, but for sure in the future you want to buy a house, you can always get a savings account and put $20, whenever
right.
you have it, or $100 or something like that.
I'd even be a bit more aggressive, if I may. I would say, 10% of every paycheck.
I mean, that's ideal, but I know like 18, 19-year-olds aren't really thinking that way,
Who knows? Depending on their situation, if you can save it, set yourself up a budget. Let's say it's going to be, like Rosie said, 10, 20, 100, 200, 10%, 5%,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Set that goal and start putting it aside into savings. Maybe even find you a high yield savings account that gives you interest on that money, and now your saving is compounding, and see what that looks like in a year, and you might be surprised.
Yeah, so it's all about the game planning of how you're setting up the foundation to purchase a home, right? And expectations are also something that you want to consider too, whether you're single, whether you're married. And those are the expectations that I'm talking about, where it may not necessarily for you look like a month of saving up these funds. It might look like a year. It might look like 2 years. Maybe it takes 2 income taxes to gain the funds, maybe you're climbing your way out of debt. Maybe you just need to save up funds,
Maybe you don't even know what you need.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's where we're here. And if you want to know exactly how much to save for, right? There's no such thing as it's too early to talk to someone about what your goals are in the future. So like if you were thinking about buying a home in the future, let's say it's a year or two from now, it's always great to talk to a loan officer. I mean, we don't charge for that information. You can always talk to us and ask us like, hey, I'm planning to buy a house. I'm thinking maybe I'd be comfortable with this monthly payment. What would a sales price look like that?
Matter of fact, like the video, comment, subscribe, find us on our socials. If that sounds like you, reach out to us and start asking us some of those questions so that we could help you. You may not be ready. You may need 6 months to save up the funds. You may need some time, but you may need some tailored information specifically for you in your situation. So if that sounds like you, reach out to us. Find a way to message us on our socials, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Reach out to us and ask those questions, and we can answer those for you, and we can really tailor it to a budget that you're looking specifically for.
Absolutely. And we can let you know exactly how much to save for a down payment, how much to save for closing costs, because for every loan there's gonna be closing costs associated
That's
with
right.
every loan. So not only are you having to save up for a down payment if you go the down payment route, there are down payment assistance programs out there as well. So we can always look at those. But there's still gonna be a closing cost and some costs associated with purchasing a home. And so you definitely want to know more or less like what those costs are going to be. That way you can save up that, or even save up a little bit more, but at least for you to have that in mind as a goal, you know? It's always great to overachieve and save for more, but at least to have a baseline on what you need to do to be able to save.
Nobody ever complained that, oh, I saved too much.
Yes,
No, you're
nobody.
actually so happy that you saved those funds.
You're like, heck yeah, I got
And,
more in the
and
bank account.
if you need one of us to give you a call and say, hey, stop, no more Whataburger, no more shopping at TJ Maxx. We're going to, get on this savings plan together, and you're going to save. Like, we'll make the hard call if you don't want to.
Yeah, definitely. What else do you think they should save up for?
Generally speaking, I would say if you guys are married, your anniversary gift. No, I'm kidding. Any kind of expenses that would come with owning a home.
But that's a really good one, because if you missed the anniversary date, guys, you already know you're going to be in the doghouse. Stop playing.
Stop it.
We brought a special guest.
Yeah,
You know you're going to be in the doghouse if you forget an anniversary.
That's true. So I'd be saving for those kinds of expenses, home expenses, things like that. But then also, if you want to turn into an investor, get a head start on saving for the funds for a down payment on an investment property if you want to become an investor and start collecting rental income. So I would save for, any expenses on the current home, the dream home or the starter home that you're getting into, and then saving up for that investment property. Like, we're talking about building wealth in real estate. Like, be an investor,
Yeah.
start saving for those things. Start putting money away, for a rainy day. Start having that 3 to 6 month expense account with savings in it for, God forbid something happens, or a hospital trip, or, something happens, your engine goes out. You got that padding, those savings account that could, fund and take care of any crazy life expense. And
Yeah,
we know how the world works. Like, one way or another, some kind of expense is going to find you.
for sure. And then that anniversary gift is one of them. That birthday gift is one of them with your significant other. I mean, at least, well, we've been
Not for me.
We've been together for what, like
A decade?
we're going on 10 years. So for me, it's not the most important. Nah, maybe Christmas. Christmas is the most important, but I do like my birthday gifts and I do like my anniversary
But
gifts.
yeah, there's going to be all kinds of expenses that come up during the year. So you want to, if you have that goal, you're going to definitely want to be saving towards the house, saving for any kind of expenses, saving for anything that's going to pop up during the year, the birthdays, the Christmases, the Thanksgivings. You know you
Yes.
have that uncle that comes over and wants more than just a turkey. They want the ham. They want the stuffing. So
Yes.
saving up for all that stuff.
And if you're anything like me, where you're super hyper focused and you're a perfectionist, that everything, also be gracious to yourself, right? Because not everything's going to turn out how you want it to be. Not everything's going to be perfect. And if it took me years to get to that point, praise God and thank the Holy Spirit for even having me understand this, right? That not everything's going to pan out to what you want it to be. You're not the most perfect thing in the world.
You're going to fall down.
You're going to fall short somehow. But just be gracious to yourself. Don't be like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to save up anymore. This happened and I had to use the funds, and that's a sign. That's not a sign. It's just life. Life happens, guys, and it's okay to just pick yourself back up and start saving again. It's going to be okay.
And again, that's why I reiterate 2 is better than 1, because when she falls down or,
Yes.
beats herself up, I'm there to try and help lift her back up again and put her in the right mindset and the right spirits, and vice versa.
100%.
If I fall down and I slip up and, I'm feeling down in the dumps, she's there to pick me up. So again, I harp on that unity. The two is better than one. You're going to fall. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall off track. But that's why it's good to have that, your significant other, that other one that you're becoming one with there to keep you accountable so that you guys are
Yes.
full steam ahead towards your guys' goal. And if you start, going left or looking right, they're there to kind of pull you back in and keep you anchored.
And I say this for the ladies because I myself am a lady, and I know how
Your
like
kind.
I know how my kind thinks. And sometimes we could be such a perfectionist and kind of tear down our men with our words. Please don't do that. Don't do that. If anything, lift your men up. Let them know that everything's gonna be okay. It's okay if it takes a month or two longer to save up funds. But the thing is just to also think about the main goal, right? Men have so many things to think about. And I say this because a few years ago, I
Because you
had
married a
to.
thinker.
A few years ago, I had to take Sammy's position, and I'm not saying like position.
I think I was feeling sick for a day or two, and I wasn't able to come to work and do all those kinds of things that I
Yes.
do and
So I
running
was
the
having to
office.
do my job and his job on top of that. And I came home so beat, so defeated. I felt like crying. And I told Sammy, like, I don't understand how you do it. I don't understand how you can care so much for people. I'm like, please, I'm like I said, I'm such a hyper focused person. I feel like when I have a task to do, such as a job, I want to get it done. And if something comes in the middle, I'm like annoyed, right? I'm annoyed because I need to get what I need to get done. And that's just the kind of person I am. And
I'm a little bit on the opposite side of that. If I have a few tasks I have to get done, but someone comes in front of me and is like open and asking and needs help or needs some guidance or, is
yes,
struggling with something, I kind of like push the things I was doing to the side to spend that one-on-one time and help somebody. So,
yeah,
yeah, we are a little bit different there.
we're different. We're different. I mean, we work well together.
We do.
But what I'm saying is that you don't understand what your partner's going through, right? So just be gracious, loving, be a great,
Be tenderhearted.
yeah, be a great wife.
One towards another.
Yeah, be a great wife. And if you feel like you're getting, I guess, the same, if your husband is beating you down with words or making you feel some kind of way, just communicate that with them. Not in an emotional standpoint, but communicate that, like, hey, like, I'm trying to do all that I can. And the way that you're talking to me, I feel like you're talking to me like whoever, like I'm not anybody to you. And just open up your heart in that way and feel vulnerable to your spouse. But communication is important, and there's no way that your spouse is going to look at you and be like, I don't care, like,
Well,
well, we're hoping, right?
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, well, we're hoping your spouse isn't like that. But if your spouse is a tender loving person and really truly loves you, they're going to understand, and they're going to be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to take what you're saying and practice not doing what I'm doing if they're just so used to it.
Yeah. And to take it one step further, the Bible teaches us, men, love your wives like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. There's going to be some hard things, men, that you're going to have to do for your wife. So if she opens up to you and says, lays her heart bare, you're going to have to make certain sacrifices to protect her emotionally, protect her mentally. You might have to put something that you want to the side in order to be there for her or to comfort her. And so, we're called to love our wives like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Likewise, us as men, even though we're leaders, and even though we have a sea of problems out there in the world to, soar through, we got to learn how to sacrifice and give ourselves up for our wives so that they could swim in peace more, they could experience peace more. And, we learn that denial where it's not always about us. Even though they might not see all the things that you're going through, we still have to do those things, and we still have to make time to comfort them and protect them mentally, emotionally.
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't be half the woman that I am today if it wasn't for my husband. Thank you, love.
Glory to God.
Yeah. Thank you so much. But it's really important to communicate, just regular communication and financial communication when it comes to this step. If you get something out of this podcast, if this episode, it's to have communication with one another, to respect one another, to have, and it's okay to even have boundaries. It's okay to have boundaries with one another. And you know what? Another thing too that I want to add is that growth can hurt, guys. You know, people always want emotional, intellectual people in their lives until you have one, and then they start calling you for all the BS, and they start calling you out on things, and then you're like, dang, it hurts, but you grow from it, you know. And it's okay for your partner to tell you, hey, you're lacking in this, or like, I see you do this, or you don't stand by your word, you don't let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. And don't take that so much as an insult. Take that as like an accountability partner, right?
Facts.
But it can hurt. Growth can hurt, but at the end of the day, growth is beautiful, and you become a better person. Your relationship becomes so much better because that communication and that bond has been built. And like you said,
A threefold cord is not easily broken.
a threefold cord is not easily
Like take a
broken.
stick, you can break it. Put two together, it's a little bit harder, but you might be able to break it. But three, you wrap those suckers up in a cord, and you try to break that, it is not gonna break easily. So the image is we're stronger together.
Yes, we're stronger
So
together.
I would definitely say, my love, if you have real estate goals, if you have savings goals, speak with your significant other. If you're not married, or you're not, you don't have a significant other, then work on these goals by yourself, and you can still contact us. But save, work on these goals together, love one another, serve one another, and keep each other accountable for you guys' goals. That would be the major takeaway, I would say, of this episode.
For sure. That's the goal of this episode here, is talking about the truths about money, marriage, and big money moves. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
If you found this podcast, this episode of value, please share it to your family and friends, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one, guys.
Make sure you love one another.
Yes. Bye.